Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Come in, come in, come in. Get comfortable, have a seat. We are going to today be talking about BMF. This is season 1, episode 8, the season finale. And let me tell you, first of all, I love this show. I loved everything about it. I enjoyed this season. I cannot wait for season 2 to come. I was here for it, okay? Let's get into it. We have Kato driving, playing music in the car, and I don't think I've ever seen her driving the whole season, so that was kind of interesting to me. And she got a big smile on her face, baby, like she don't got a care in the world, like my girl is living her best life. And it's like, really? Okay. And so then she goes and she meets up with Lamar, and they're talking about Meech, and he's still kind of coming with the same old story. Oh, how you playing games with me and you didn't do whatever yet. And then she's asking him what happened to him because, of course, he still got the damn bloody shoulder. Don't look like he went and did anything with it. And she's telling him how Meech has to go and meet up with a supplier. And he's like, come on, you think I'm stupid? He's not gonna, go there without protection and without having his people and all that. And she's telling him, no, he don't normally go with a whole bunch of people or whatever. That would be the perfect time and perfect spot and all of this. And so again, he's still telling her like, okay, I'm gonna give you this one last time to get it done or whatever have you. And so the next thing we know, which to me, I was like, how was Meech not prepared for this? First of all, we have a dead cop. Okay, and you know when there's a dead cop, the block is gonna be hot. The cops is gonna be out there. They're gonna be on their ass until they find who shot that cop. That's number one. Number two, we have Mr. Copper already tell Meech at the end of the last episode, basically, give your mother my condolences. So you already know he ain't your friend. He's basically making threats and he's gonna be coming at you. So to me, Meech should have been prepared and he should have been given his people's warnings to be expecting this. But anyway, as we see, the cops is out, they come, they pull B Mickey over in the car. To be honest with you, I thought they was gonna find his gun on him then, but they didn't. They just brought him in. They get Terry at the damn school. They get Meech while he's with his girlfriend, and then Meech girlfriend is yelling and screaming, and Mr. Copper was like, "Get your behind in the house," and she basically just went in the house or whatever have you. And they just bringing in the whole crew. They, picking them all up off the street, whatever. And there's a whole bunch of them in the cell together. And they're like, well, where the hell is Kato? And at this point, Terry and Meech is, basically questioning about Kato. B. Mickey is still seeming like he's kind of sticking up for her and defending her to a certain degree. And then we see Kato walking past. Excuse me. And they're bringing them, each in and trying to interrogate them or whatever have you. And so then Meech gets interrogated by the Fed chick. She comes walking in, and he's basically like, "Oh wow, yeah, you a good looking one," basically being sarcastic and trying to, I guess, use his, gift of his tongue that he be having and being slick and saying, "Oh well, I wish you would have been the one that was bringing me in. I would have been in here sooner than da da da." And she's coming back at him like, "Oh well, since you feel that way, you need to be spilling the beans and telling me everything that I need to know. Because if you don't, then we're going to have your sister in here. She's going to be connected to the killing of a cop and your mother. And, I'm sure both of them would break down and da da da, basically making threats, to them." And I can't really remember exactly how he phrased it, but I think it was something along the lines of like, you got to get a stool or a ladder and step on it for that reach you making. And so she was like, "Oh, I'm going to let you sit there for a minute and think about it, whatever." And she walks out because, of course, she trying to act like she's just the top dog and, she can make all this stuff happen or whatever and, threaten him and scare him. But Meech doesn't really seem like he's too much bothered by it. And so then we get Pops and Mama there with the lawyer, finding out that the surgeon was drunk. Okay, drunk while he was doing Terry's surgery. The nurse came forward and was saying how they had smelled alcohol on his breath. And so now, with that being out there, they have decided to, excuse me, y'all, give them a settlement of 250,000, but after fees and taxes, it would be like 150,000. And I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. Like at the same time, that amount, during that time, it would have been considered a lot. And for them to take that much too, because I know you do got to pay your lawyer fees. I think that's usually like 10-15%. So I'm like, but damn, how much is the damn taxes? Like it still seemed like they was taking a lot from them, but then again, they still was coming home with something good. But that is malpractice and negligence. So I think like even after hearing that he was drunk, I may have still fought it, me personally. But the lawyer was kind of like, listen, I don't think we're going to get no better than this. This is something that y'all can have and get settled now instead of keep going and fighting. I mean, it is definitely a big jump for 25,000, but I think I probably would have maybe, given it a little bit more thought. And of course, they're like, they got to talk to Terry, but Pops immediately had the biggest smile on his face that I have ever seen this whole entire season, okay? And he even apologized to the lawyer. And I thought that was interesting. I'm like, oh, now my boy is cheesing, okay? And he basically, the whole demeanor changed. And I really found that interesting because he's the one that wanted to settle for the 25,000 at first, He's the one that's just basically been bitching and being all high and mighty throughout, the whole season. So I definitely thought that that was interesting, but I definitely was glad that for at least a minute, he did humble himself and apologize to the lawyer because I really did think he was out of line when he came out his face to her. And so next, we basically see like the whole crew is getting released and they're laughing in their faces and taunting them or whatever through the glass, letting them know like, nah, whatever you did, you know it ain't holding us or whatever the case may be. And so then the Fed tells Mr. Copper that, yeah, we still going to be out there and we're going to be watching them. We not giving up on this. But your butt is going to be sitting behind that desk. Like, she still don't trust him. She's still going to be watching him. And she was like, yo, you ain't going nowhere. And so Meech and Kato have a discussion about her dad in the car once they get out. And he's asking her different questions because at this point he's now on to her. He knows something ain't right. They always kind of felt funny about her and was like, what do we really know about this chick? And right now I guess the antennas is up higher than it's ever been. And it's like about damn time. And so basically, she's telling him whatever. And Kato, she's quick on her feet. She'll come up with different excuses and different stories quick, fast, and in a hurry. And so I'm assuming some of the stuff she's probably telling him is true and mixed in with some false things. And I don't know why she wouldn't think that he could ask around and find out. But when it comes to her dad, I believe she tells him like another crew that the dad was with just to throw him off. Like, oh no, it wasn't that one. It was this one. And so then we have Lamar in a morgue. And he's finally getting that damn shoulder fixed up. I don't know how the hell he didn't bleed to death by now. Because how long was he walking around like that? And the guy that's in the morgue is actually, I think he's on one of the morning shows. I can't remember which one. And he also used to be on Dave Chappelle. But anyway, he's playing really creepy and crazy too. He over here talking about, oh, her titties look good, and yeah, I'll be having fun with that, and da da da. And Lamar's like, oh, you crazy motherfucker. He like, you got a lot of nerve to call me crazy. And he was like, well, you ain't got no medicine you could give me. You ain't got no. He was like, who the hell would I need medicine for? Everybody's in here is dead, which is true. And so anyway, they find out that Lamar is there, and they're finally like, yes, we got this nigga, and they going up in there, and they come up on the coroner and see that he's messing around with these dead people, and they're like, ew, like, you nasty, you weird, what the hell going on? And they was like, well, you better hope we don't find Lamar here, because he's saying he don't know who he is, or else you're going to end up in one of these coffins too. But of course they search everything, and let me tell you, I don't know what superpowers Lamar have. He needs to be a part of their Marvel, okay? And I will say that this guy that played Lamar played the hell out of him. But it was like every time you turned around, he some kind of way could slip right through you within seconds, okay, and pass you, under you, over you, whatever. And he could get into any place, slide into any place, climb into any place without it being an issue, some kind of way. Nobody sees him. It was just like, when the hell are y'all gonna catch him? I'm surprised that they even clipped him in his damn shoulder. He really was on some Superman, Batman shit. I'm not gonna lie. And in the beginning, I was enjoying it. It was like he was the person that you love to hate. I get that. But then after the whole Slim was the first thing that pissed me off. I was over him with that because it was like, yo, you literally turned on the one person that gave a shit about you and had your back and was giving you good advice. Darius was number two. And then him punching Monique and all of that, grabbing her up, was number three for me. Okay, three strikes and you out. So I was over Lamar ass. I've been, I don't know how many episodes back, tweeted out, burn his ass up, okay? And leave nothing there but ashes, okay? So I was so ready and waiting for him to get his. But nonetheless, he had asked the coroner, y'all know how I feel on that, right? Nonetheless, he asked the coroner for a favor and he took the hearse. And so we see him riding down the street with the hearse and they check, all around the mall and he's nowhere there. And so then we get Pops, the mom and T back at the lawyer's office. And now we all of a sudden have another part that the lawyer didn't add in before when it was just Pops and the mom. She's now telling them, yes, this is your money, this is what you're getting, this is your check. But Terry, you will not be able to spend anything out of it right now. It's going to be in a fund, and you will not have the money until you turn 18. And it's like, are you freaking kidding me? Here we are, poor, struggling. We getting this money for his eye being messed up. But unless a judge, makes an order and allows and signs off, letting you get a certain amount because of, maybe for school or some type of work or something and approves it, you basically cannot get this. And so, of course, they're ticked off about that part. And it's like, damn, lady, you could have mentioned all of this before. But nonetheless, they get the check. Now, in the meantime, Pops is also done got flyers and the mother's picking it up like, oh, well, what is this? And he's like, oh, yeah, I was thinking we could go ahead and get this business and, have these cars and da-da-da. And she's like, listen, this is not your money. This is Terry's money. And I really thought, like, the audacity, because he even came out his face and was like, oh, he don't really need this, or he ain't really worried about this, or he don't deserve it, whichever way he said it. It was like, are you freaking kidding me? He's the one that got shot in the damn eye. Like, he's lucky to be alive. You didn't get shot nowhere for this. That is his money. Now, if he want to spend some of it on you or give some of it to you or contribute to something, that's fine. But how the hell you ready to jump and take his money? Like, I ain't like that. So I was glad that the mother, for once, because she was getting on my damn nerves too, at certain points, told him, this is not yours, this is Terry's. And so, anyway, Meech and the crew, they in the store and they meeting up with these other guys, and the guys being all funny, oh, you Billy D looking mother. And Meech is, basically trying to get to his boss and saying, I need the real boss. I don't need to be talking to nobody underneath. Take me to him. And I already know you not the boss because of how you coming out and da-da-da. And so he does get to meet with the boss and talk with him. And he's playing, I think it was pool, and he won whatever. And he was like, listen, I already know about you. I know what you're doing. I know what you're into. I know what happened to you between you and Pat. And I really don't want nothing to do with it. We good. And he was like, let this be the last time I tell you about it. But before he left, he was able to ask that boss about Cato's dad and what group he was with. And of course, the boss guy, I'm sorry, I don't remember his name, basically confirmed what Meech was already thinking. And it was like, boom, there it is. Kato is outed. Like, we know now that her dad was running with Lamar, and that's that on that. And so Kato is still happy, baby. She thinking she got away with this. She's like, oh, for a minute there, I was scared. I thought maybe you said something, but baby, it's me and you. And she's just in her, how to get away with murder bag and ready to do a slow jam with Big Mickey. And I guess Big Mickey was like saying, hey, let me get this last little thing in, because I think at this point he pretty much knew what he had to do and where it was going. And so the next scene, we see Pop showing Tyree the cars and now telling him about the business and his idea and how much money that they make, and that this could be about having a legit business and passing it down to their kids. And I'm like, you know what? I'm with Pops on that. Like, there's nothing wrong with that at all. I honestly feel like they could have been doing both. It's the same, not that they should be doing other things, but if you are going to be doing it, they already had the record business, and if they was getting money the way they say they was, then they would have been able to branch off and get different businesses, different stores, and things of that nature. Anyway, now I do get the concept that as far as the mother and father went, they didn't want none of the drug money. So if it would be a business that they got with that, then 9 times out of 10, Pops and them was gonna be like, oh no, that came from that drug money, just the same way they didn't want them to pay the mortgage with the drug money. But nonetheless, still something they could have been doing, and it's definitely something that he could be doing, with this money. And so I did think that was a smart idea to say that, and I did think that that was a good investment. And so Meech basically ends up talking to B Mickey finally about Kato, and he kind of asked him about it to see what B Mickey is gonna say first. And then B Mickey does tell the truth. I was kind of surprised at that. I didn't know. I thought it was kind of 50% chance it could go either way. And then he was like, oh, okay, I already knew that. And then B Mickey was like, so if you already knew that, what was you going to do to me if I wouldn't have told you? And basically, it was just one of those, you get the answer, like, without me answering, what the fuck you think I was going to do? Like, you know what I mean? Use your common sense here, bro. And so then Lamar goes to where they was at, or supposed to be at. And he's like, oh, they double crossed me or whatever. And so I was laughing because, again, I'm like, Lamar, one thing about him, he crazy. But, listen, just because you crazy, there's a lot of crazy people that's smart. You got some people that could be thugged out and know how to fight and know how to, shoot and all that. But they ain't got no common sense and they ain't got no brains. I will say that Lamar had a little bit of brains, because for him to be able to outsmart people for as long as he did, you had to have some type of brains to you. And so he caught on to that part, or so he thought, real quick, and was like, oh, this bitch. And so now at this point, of course, he goes and finds Kato, and he's ready to get in her ass. It's like, that's it, sweetie. You've been bullcrapping me and, leaving me all around for too long now. We about to dead this. And he go ahead and grabs her out, and of course she's trying to fight him off. And who comes walking up? Meech. And so he's like, oh, I got her, and da-da. And Meech is like, do you really think I care about a bitch that snitch? And then here come B Mickey from the other side. And baby, when I tell you I was waiting for this, I had tweeted out from, I don't even know, a couple weeks back, saying, B Mickey gotta go, Kato gotta go, Lamar gotta go. Everybody was like, why? No, not beat Mickey. And, oh, well, Lamar makes the show when he's good and da. Yeah, he was good. He played the hell out that role, like I said. And I enjoyed him. But once he got to a certain point, if we being real and you in those streets and you doing certain things, then shit goes down and you got to get what you get. Even though we know that this is loosely based on a true story and in real life, Lamar and Kato are still living, but I'm glad that they put a different spin to it on the show, because it's not a documentary. It's not exactly like it happened in real life, and so we knew that they could do different things different ways. But at the end of the day, if you're doing something like this, your ass needed to go. Okay, so I was there like, yes, get his ass, get his ass. I was ready for this, and they gave me what I wanted. Okay, I was okay with it. And then Meech asked, like, did you shoot my brother? And of course, he never answered. And, he shoots him again. And in real life, they never did find out who shot him. So, nonetheless, Lamar is gone, baby. But he did rain down on everybody. I ain't gonna lie. And so here it is. We now see B Mickey. And Kato tries it again. It's been getting her out of it all this time. She like, shit, that's all I got. I'm gonna try it one more time. And she's like, I love you. And B Mickey was like, I love you too. And then shot her twice. Once in the was a stomach or chest, and the other one in the head, like rock-a-bye baby. And that was the end of her. So Kato and Lamar gone. And then we see, excuse me, then we see Meech go to see Big L. He had told Terry like, oh, I want to go see her. I want to talk to her. We need to get more supply. Da da da. Terry saying, she says she don't want to work with you, but Terry brings him any damn way. They never actually listen to one another. But nonetheless, when they get there, he's all touching her art and touching things, and she comes up and pulls out a gun and was like, listen, get out, get to stepping while you still got the chance and never come back. And she says to Terry, didn't I tell you I don't want to mess with him? But still turns around and gives him to him like, do you really want this? Are you really in? Are you sure that's what you want? And he says yes. Gives him what they was asking for and says it could be a lot more and we can go real far. And so afterwards, we see him, B. Mickey, and Meech at the table basically drinking. And B. Mickey is kind of in his feelings. On the one hand, he knew Kato needed to go. And it was crazy to me because B. Mickey was always flapping at the lips, ready to shoot everybody else up. So I was already surprised, but not surprised at the same time when he came in after seeing Lamar come out his place and she was there cooking them sausages. That's when she was supposed to get it, honestly. You wasn't even supposed to be waiting this long. I'm sorry. But nonetheless, I guess it was real feelings mixed in there too as well. And he is at this point blaming Meech like that's the only one that ever loved me. That was my first love. That's the only one I loved like that. Now she going da da da. And Meech is of course telling him like family first. You did what you were supposed to do. She was playing you. You would have never been able to trust her. Which all of that part is true as well. And of course, Mama ends up walking up and he's saying, oh, well, he's upset right now. He had broke up with his girlfriend. And so she's telling him to go lay down. He needs to sleep it off. He definitely don't need to be driving like that. And then she asks me, like, so what's going on now? Because I see we don't have, the security and all the stuff that we was having before. And Meech tells her that they good now. They don't have nothing else to worry about. You know, you don't need to be worried anymore. And she's like, oh, I don't even know, who the hell you are or whatever. That same, part that we kept seeing from the trailer. And so then after that, we see B. Mickey driving, still looking pissed off, and upset, getting flashes of Kato and their little love affair. And all of a sudden, he gets stopped by Mr. Copper. Okay, and so now Mr. Copper wants Meech bad. It is a wrap. First of all, they had already ended on a bad note. He had already gave Meech the money back. Then with the cop getting killed and them now looking at him funny and saying that he's dirty, he is not willing to go down for Meech. When it's all said and done, he would prefer to take Meech out and then still be able to stand. Survival of the fittest, right, I guess, than to have Meech get away with anything. And I feel like Meech kind of messed up when it came to that part. Like, you should have tried to keep it as mutual with him as you could have, in my opinion, to the best of your ability, even if he didn't want to take the money from you no more. Now, at this point, I don't know if he could still say that it was either Kato or Lamar. That's what I thought he was going to do from a long time ago. So that way somebody would have went down for J-Mo and somebody would have went down for the cop, and that could have been two birds with one stone. Like, I get you don't want to snitch and all that different kind of stuff, but you still knew that it was an issue. And once you knew that she had betrayed you, it definitely shouldn't have been a big deal to betray her and at least have her take that, take that whatever for what she did to y'all and solve y'all two problems. But by being as though y'all killed both of them, I don't know how good it would be now, even though she really is the one that killed the damn cop. It wouldn't be like that's a lie. But the fact that she's dead, I just don't know how good that would be. But having said that, they get in there and be Mickey's stupid ass just like we knew. I don't think nobody is shocked by it because when they showed that scene a couple episodes back with him rubbing the gun and acting like he making love to the gun, and Kato was like, oh well, you so into that gun and it seemed like you love that gun more than anybody and I don't even need to be here. He was saying how much the gun did for him, how long he had it, all the things that helped him get through from his mother's abusive boyfriend to whatever other situations, and he don't go nowhere about it and da da da. Even though he left it on the damn table the time when the mom was in there, but all this stuff. And when Terry asked his behind, "Did you get rid of the gun?" Of course I got rid of the gun. What do you think? Da 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 da. And not only that, you didn't even do a good job with disposing of it over J Mo, which I didn't understand why Meech left you there to do it by yourself. But that's another story. And so they had the body, and now you're done behind swearing you hiding it good in your car or whatever. They found the damn spot where you had it at. So, um, we also had Terry having a meeting with his parents where, I guess he was about to say, look, I'll go into the car business with y'all, whatever. And at the same time, Lawanda walks up and is basically walking out the door or getting ready to walk out the door and telling him that she's taking the baby with her, and he's getting ready to go off grabbing her like, oh no, you ain't taking her when taking my son with you. And Pops is intervening like, well, you can't stop her, let hold on. And he's getting in between them, and he's like, I'm gonna go ahead and walk you out. My thing is two things. One, why didn't he tell her sit down and let her join in the conversation and find out that he was considering getting the car business and that this was a business that could provide for them and the family or whatever the case may be before letting her leave, because that's what I feel like he was about to do. So she might as well have joined in the conversation too. And number two, this is partly his mom's fault because when she stopped Lawanda that first time, talking about, oh no, it was you shouldn't, you lied to me, you should have been telling the truth, and this was about your conscience and what made you feel better. First of all, that was the pot calling the kettle black. Okay, you was in denial for God knows how long. Then you went into denial to mourning and self pity and feeling bad and all that other stuff, and you're basically trying to put the blame on everybody but yourself. And you thought you was going to tell her to give him an ultimatum since he wasn't listening to you and the father. He basically came out and told both of y'all that this is what he wanted to do. And when she gave him that ultimatum, that was going to make him stop. And now because he didn't say it as fast as she wanted him to, she like, oh, I'm up out of here. And then the mother want to come talking about, oh, it's all going to work out, baby. I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. But it is what it is. That's the way they wrote it, as they say. And so, honestly, I don't see them being together anymore, whether he's in the business or not. I think with that happening, it would more so just be about them co parenting and taking care of the baby. But we shall see, I guess, when we get season two, how that goes. And so, at the end of the day, the cop basically tells B. Mickey, either you give up Meech or your ass is going down to the ground. And so, again, what will that decision be? I would think he's going to give Meech up. I don't see him wanting to spend, time in jail for the rest of his life. They already told him that J Mo and Kato bodies is on that gun. Because I think at first he was like, oh, well, I don't care because I ain't killed no cop and da da. And he's like, no, but you did kill J Mo and Kato. So, the ballistics from the gun matches those two bodies. So if you had that choice between you going down for these two murders and you giving up Meech, which one you gonna choose? So that's gonna be something we'll see you know, in season two. And then we have them officially become Black Mafia family. Terry is telling Meech, nah, I'm not gonna lie, that's dope. And he's coming to try to give him the BMF chain the same way they used to have the 50 Boys chain. And Terry is telling him, like, that's all good. You know, here goes the product. And Meech is like, oh, you got it. Okay, yeah, we about to do this. We about to do that. And then Terry says, no, brother, we ain't about to do nothing. You could go ahead and do it. I'm out. And my thing with that is, if that was the case and you were going to be out, why did you even bother accepting the product from Big L? Because at one point, Meech is even like, yo, Big L only want to deal with you, so how is that going to work? And Terry is like, that's not my problem. But it is your problem, Terry, because you literally made an agreement with this lady. She's not going to be willing to just let you walk away just like that. It does not work like that, and you know that already. And when you got this, she literally said, is this what you want? Can you do this? And you was like, yeah. So how do you figure that you're just going to walk away now and that's going to be end of it and everything's going to be okay? So I guess these are the things we got to look forward to in season 2 and see what's going to be happening. And I am definitely, ready and waiting for it. Can't come fast enough as far as I'm concerned. I really did enjoy this season. I enjoyed this episode. I got 2 out of the 3 that I wanted to go, and it was like, see, this is why I said be Mickey. For all those that was like, but why be Mickey? Yeah, be Mickey ass needed to go too. So anyway, y'all, I hope y'all enjoyed the review. Tell me what you thinking in the comments, what you agree with, what you don't agree with. Did you like the season? Did you not like the season? You looking forward to another season? Where you think it may go and all that good stuff. Like, share, comment, and I'll talk to y'all later.